Hello, good morning and welcome to the DJWW Auto Diagnostics YouTube channel. This morning we're with my 2007 335i E91 3 Series, which unfortunately a couple of days ago failed its MOT. Nothing hugely major. It failed on the offside front trap rod end, the dust boot being perished and torn. It did, and apparently there's some play in it. I personally can't feel it in the steering, but this morning we're going to replace them anyway. So let's get into the action, and this is the certificate, incidentally, if we can see it there. That's what we're dealing with this morning. There's quite a few advisory bits and pieces on there which we'll deal with at a later date. So let's get into the action. Okay, we've got you set up in the tripod at the moment. It is the offside front wheel we're going to be looking at. We'll get cracking with this. We're jacked up already. We'll get the wheel off, stick an axle stand under, and then we'll get cracking. Okay, so far we've got the wheel off, we've got an axle stand on there. The next job is to undo this jam nut. It's a bit of a funny arrangement on the 3 Series. It's not the old-fashioned nut on the shaft. It's a T50 fitting, which basically tightens and clamps the trap rod end onto the tie rod. So we're going to give that a go now and see if we can get this to move without too much of a fuss. I've already given this a good hammering up into the shaft to give us a fighting chance. That pleases me to see that. To see that nut moving. Pleases me immensely to see that moving. Okay, so we've managed to get the jam nut out. As you can probably see from that, it is absolutely knackered. It is completely stripped out, but at least it's out and it's out of the way. And we've got a replacement with the new one, so that won't cause a problem. Right, let's on with the next step. Let's try and get the ball joint off. Hopefully that'll come out just as easy. Okay, so I've managed to get the ball joint loose. It did start spinning it, so I've put a trolley jack under the arm to try and stop it spinning. Let's see if we can hopefully get this nut off. I was hoping to get it off all the way without it spinning anymore. The nut is most of the way off now. Just try backing off, put a bit more WD-40 on. Let's try again. Okay, looking at it, I do believe there's a fitting in the end that we can put a Torx socket in and put a spanner on to stop it spinning any further. We'll just get that set up and then we'll be back. Okay, so it's a few minutes later now, has managed to get a T30 torque socket jammed in the end of a trotted end, and we're just undoing the nut now. So it really is just a case of jamming it and stopping it spinning however you can, really. You do what you gotta do to jam this and stop it from spinning. There we go, we're there. Yikes, it's hot. Right, so let's fetch that out. And also take the weight off the second trolley jack, and let's just pop the nut on and pop the nut on a few times. Let's see if we can give this, get this taper to release, which I think a fraction it has. So I'm going to go and get the proper tool though, so I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so the reality is all it needed was a good clump. I think it looks like we're freeing out with this. Okay, so on reflection, I think it is fair to say there's a bit of play in that boot. Okay, so in the immense struggle that we've had to get this off, my dad has now turned up with a blow lamp amongst things. The trap rod end was really seized onto the end, so we had to use some plus gas to make progress, and we've also had the blow lamp on to get it. It was never red hot, but you know, get it hot enough to move, and we've managed to turn this a couple of turns now, and it should be off in the next few minutes with any luck and a following wind. So hopefully we're on our way with this now. Okay, so it's going. It's gone probably another 8 or 9 threads out with it, as it were, but it's gone really tight again, so we're going to just give it a bit more heat with the blow lamp, and hopefully this will be enough to see us home and dry without too much of a struggle. Again, I did say a few minutes, so we've probably been on this about 10 minutes now since we last filmed, but we'll get some heat on, etc. Looks like I'm needed to help, so we'll get some heat on and we'll go from there. Okay, so I think we're all the way there now. Now it's very dry, lots of squeaking, which funnily enough, now we've put the camera on, seems to have stopped. But it looks like we're just about home and dry with this. and a lesson. I need a good blow ramp in my armour. And that's it. We're off. Job done. Bin. You can see in there it's also the boot split. All manner of rubbish has found its way into there. There's also...
There's not actually too much play.
There's not too much play in it. I didn't think there was too much play in it, to be fair.
It's scrap.
Up and down, so... Yeah. Right, we'll get the new one prepared and we'll be back to put that on in a moment. Right, so we've cleaned up the thread on the tie rod, which is all cleaned up quite nicely. A bit of WD-40 on there just to help things on its way, and just feeding it on now to. There's roughly there's 9 threads exposed before, so we're going to wind it on to exactly the same point when it goes for the retest. I've asked them to. They've got alignment gear at the garage, so I can have a full alignment done when we get there, and so this for now will just be approximate to get it driving, but we'll put it back exactly as it was before, and yeah, so it's a little bit stiff going up, but again nothing major, so we'll wind this on and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, so we're just referring to ISTA now for some torque settings for the trap rod end ball joint, and also for the lock nut on the trap rod itself. So to do that, we're going to go into ISTA, and we're just going to pop the VIN in here, which conveniently I have on the MOT certificate. So we'll just wait a moment for that to bring up all the details, and then we'll do the information search. So if we go on information search and we come down to steering is what I'm looking for. There, number 32, this one. And removing and installing left or right trap rod end, incidentally that one. So click on display. Funnily enough, in here it doesn't mention any of the doesn't mention swearing, rust, things seized, etc. So the main thing that we're looking for in here are the torque settings, which if we click on this button here, it should take us to it. So we can see that the jam screw should be 40 Newton meters, and the trap rod end to the swivel should be 165 Newton meters. To be honest, it didn't feel that tight when I undid it, but we can dial that up nonetheless, and we'll go for it and see if it takes it. Right, so we've tightened the main ball joint up to 165 Newton meters as per the book. It seemed it was a lot tighter than what it came off. Put it that way, it was tight, but it wasn't, really tight. So done that. Now we're going to do the jam nut here. We're going to do that to 40 Newton meters. So we've got the smaller torque wrench out to do this. Just make sure we're going in there. Right direction. There we go. Okay, that's it, and we've got well, about 8 3/4 threads we think exposed. We had 9 at the start, so close enough to get it tracked up and such. And we're also going to swap the other side out before we do that, and yeah, we should be good to go from there. Okay, so that's it. We've wrapped everything up. We've got the wheel back on, etc., and tidied up a bit. So we'll get this in for its retest one day this week, and get them also to check the alignment whilst we're there. We're going to get do the track on the other side tomorrow. We're not going to film that because it'll just be a repeat of this side. So these are the essential tools. I think if you're going to do this job yourself, you're going to need a good source of heat, so a blow amp for that, or some oxyacetylene, but plenty of heat makes a big difference. Stilsons, invaluable, absolutely invaluable. These are really good quality backhoe items. I think without these, you probably, certainly this side anyway, wouldn't have got that off. Certainly with spanners and mould rips, etc. I had to go with that this morning off camera. It just wasn't happening. And plus gas, of course, always helps things along. So that's it. Let's wrap this up, and we'll see you in the next one.